Hello everyone, welcome to this episode of Insightful Discussion. This is Nitin Shah from iChart. So, recently we were having this discussion about forgiveness and with one of my friends, and we were discussing how for a lot of people, while forgiveness as a concept is brilliant, it doesn't really work for most people. It sounds so easy that forgive people and your life will be better, but what do we really mean by forgiveness? And what about those people who forgive people but they keep going through repeated patterns of problems where they keep forgiving people and people keep, doing whatever they are doing with them? Then is forgiveness really that useful? Or have we somewhere not understood the concept of forgiveness? Now, when I say this, I am saying this because based on the discussion that I had with a friend yesterday, we realized that there are certain things that we need to be careful about, especially when we are talking about forgiveness. One of the things is that for a lot of people, forgiveness is about, someone did something wrong to me and therefore I need to forgive them. Now, the problem with this approach to forgiveness is that the moment in my head I have concluded that someone else has done something wrong, I can literally escape responsibility. It's almost like, मैंने तो कुछ किया ही नहीं, so which means I don't have to learn anything from it. Which means I don't need to take responsibility for it. It's a huge relief, but a relief that has the potential to backfire, because no matter what the other person did, in most cases, there would be something or the other that I could have done to prevent that. And if I constantly pin the blame on the other person and I keep forgiving them, I'm not really learning from it, which means the next time when I'm in a similar situation, I still make the same mistake that I made earlier, and I would keep repeating the same problems over and over again. Take the example of, so let's say I have a friend who decides to have a business with me. We both sign a business deal together, and over a period of time, once we start doing well, the friend throws me out of the business because of one of the clauses that he had added in the business. And my mistake was that I did not read the agreement properly. Now, I may say that I trusted my friend completely and therefore I did not feel the need to read the agreement. But the truth of the matter is that I was signing an agreement. I should have read it. So while the friend may have been wrong in terms of what he or she has done to me, but I was to an extent at fault myself, because I should have obviously read the agreement before signing. Now, if I think that it's a mistake that my friend has committed, that he is wrong and I need to forgive him, then will I look at that idea of my mistake and correcting my mistake? The chances are no. And if I don't look at that idea, what do I do next? Next time, after I've forgiven my friend, if he comes and tells me, let's have an agreement again, let's get into a business again. So now what? Do I get into a business with him? Do I not get into a business with him? If I get into a business with him, I may make the same mistake again because, I've forgiven him and I have not really learned anything in the process. And if I don't get into a business with him, then have I really forgiven him? Because am I not still holding on to that baggage that happened in the past time? So that's one problem. Second is, for a lot of people, forgiveness as a concept becomes a mechanism to give them an ego kick. I'm sure you've come across certain people who would tell you that, people have done so many wrong things to me and I have forgiven all of them. It's almost as if they get a sense of an ego kick. They feel proud about the fact that they have been forgiving people left, right and center. Is that really helping them? Yeah, it's giving them an ego kick, but is that really resolving a problem? And does it have a potential to create a bigger problem in the long run? Probably the answer is yes. Third, truly speaking in our understanding, or at least in my understanding, all forgiveness is self-forgiveness, because eventually whatever happened, to an extent you were involved in the process. So unless you learn to forgive yourself, really moving on in life would be very difficult, which is one. And second, more importantly, when you learn to forgive yourself, you realize you are equally responsible for what happened, which then means you need to learn from it and apply the learning in any future situations going forward, which means, one, the chances of the same problem repeating again reduces drastically. Second, you actually find it easier to move on because you realize that it's not just about the other person, it's also about you. And third, it gives you a lot of confidence because once you realize that you are equally a party to that mistake, you You feel more powerful given the fact that in future you have the ability to manage that situation if you've learned correctly from the previous experience. And that's what I would rather prefer to focus on when it comes to forgiveness. That my understanding with that discussion and otherwise as well is that forgiveness is incomplete if you're only forgiving the other person. It has to begin by forgiving yourself, and most importantly, that forgiveness is incomplete if you don't learn something from it, some learning that you can apply in your life in future if you were in a similar situation again. So I hope when you think about people around you that you're angry with, who you think have done something wrong to you, you're able to relook at those events and recognize how, knowingly, unknowingly, in most of those events, you have also been a part. You probably could have done something different to not let the problem scale up to the extent it scaled up. And once you recognize that, you're able to forgive yourself, and you're also able to learn how you will not repeat the same mistake again. That's where the actual resolution will come from. If you liked this video, if you found this useful, if you think that this insight will really make a positive difference in your life, please go ahead, post a comment on this in the comment box, share it, like it. If you have certain other questions about forgiveness, please ask us those questions. If there are any other similar topics on which you would like us to create a video, do let us know, and we would surely love to get back in touch with you. Thank you.